Hello everyone, thank you for coming to my channel today. My name is Sadie, and today I will be guiding you through a 60-minute toning yoga practice. So this is a great practice to work on your core, your back flexibility and strength, and a whole bunch of other things. So you won't need any props for this practice, just your bodies and something comfortable. We'll start on our backs. Now this practice may be a challenge for some of you, but I highly advise you just give it a shot, see what happens, and if you struggle, just come out of things. Make your way to child's pose and come back when you feel more comfortable. So we will begin on our backs, pulling our knees into our chest. Maybe take a few rocks from side to side. And we'll lower the feet down to the mat, knees up high, coming into our bridge pose. We'll plant those feet down, pressing down into the mat as we lift the hips, lower back and mid back, squeezing those knees towards the midline. Right away, finding some engagement in the back body. And on an exhale, we'll roll down. Taking one more, pressing down, we'll lift the hips, the lower back, mid back. Exhale, lower, all the way down. We'll bring the knees back into the chest, give ourselves another hug. And from here, we'll lift our legs to a tabletop. So trying to align knees over hips. The feet coming out directly from the knees, parallel to the floor. Once you get here, try to press the lower back into the mat, engaging and lengthening out at the same time. Keeping the hands against the mat. We'll slowly start to lower the toes of the right foot down to the mat, keeping the left where it is, and then we'll bring it back up to center. And switch, left leg lowers, and back to center, right lowers, back to center, left, back to center, right. And make sure that those knees aren't starting to pull in towards the body. Keep them in line with the hips. And left. One more on each side. Right. And left. Reach around those knees. Give yourselves a hug. We'll come back to that tabletop position with our legs. This time, we'll reach those hands out to a hover, palms facing down. And we'll start to extend the right leg out long. Keeping the head on the mat. So we want to stay nice and flat up top. Just lower half yogi bicycles. We'll bring that right leg back in and switch. Left leg extends out. Coming in. And switch. And switch. Keeping that alignment, knee over hip. Ankle in line with knee. 2 more on each side. Last set. Really pressing that belly button down into the mat. Last one. And bring those knees into the chest. Give yourself another hug. Rock it out. We'll drop those knees over to the left. Let the arms come into cactus shape. Taking a few breaths here. Lifting back up to center. Keeping the arms where they are. We'll let the knees fall over to the right. Lifting back up to center. We'll grab behind the legs and roll up to our seat, coming onto hands and knees for our tabletop pose. So once you arrive in your tabletop pose, just start pressing hands and the tops of the feet down into the mat. Finding a nice long spine. And we'll drop the belly, gaze forward, inhaling. Exhale, round the spine. Nose towards the chest. Drop the belly, inhaling. And exhale to round. Drop the belly, inhale. And round. Last one, drop the belly, inhale. And round the spine. Coming back to a neutral position. We'll make sure those knees are right underneath the hips as we extend that right leg out. So the toes can still be connected to the floor at this point. Or if you want to take it a little bit further, you can bring it up to a hover, right in line with the hips. Pinky toe pulling down towards the mat so the hips are square. Keep sucking up and holding that core. And then if you want to take it a step further, you can reach this arm up. So the left arm extends forward, thumb towards the sky, pinky going down. So wherever we are, we're finding our stability. And if you have your foot still connected to the ground, you can still extend this upper arm, reaching all the way out, finding a nice long line. Let's draw knee to elbow, curving at the spine, then extend everything back out. Again, knee to elbow, and extend. Last time, knee to elbow, extend. We'll bend that right knee, reach the left arm around, and try to grab a hold of the front of that foot. Pressing foot into hand for stability, we'll open the heart. So this is a little bit wobbly. If you want to stay where we were, having that leg extended, using the arm, that's perfectly fine. Three and two. On the one, we'll lower the knee. Left arm reaches high, and we'll thread the needle. Left arm comes through, left shoulder down to the mat. Using the right hand as a kickstand, press our twist even further. Walking that right hand back underneath the shoulder. We'll lift up, unwind, left arm reaches high, and lowers back down to the mat. Realigning our knees and wrists so that they're right underneath us. We'll take the same thing on the second side. So extending that left leg back, toes connecting to the mat. Starting to engage through the belly. And we can bring that leg to a hover. And then we'll start to extend that right arm forward. Thumb to the sky. Nice long line from heel all the way to fingers. On our exhale, we'll bring knee to elbow. And inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. And extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. And extend. We'll bend that left knee this time, reaching around with the right hand, grabbing the tops of the foot. And we'll press that foot into hand, opening the heart to the front of the space. We're here for 3, for 2. On the 1, we'll lower that left knee, right arm reaches up to the sky, and we'll thread the needle, right arm coming through, shoulder coming down to the mat. Adjusting that left arm to wherever's comfortable. Adjusting that left hand wherever it has to be, so underneath the shoulder. And we'll unwind, reaching that right arm up to the sky, and bringing it back down to our tabletop. From here, let's walk the hands out a couple of inches, tuck the toes, and make our way to our first down dog. So for our first down dog, keeping the heels lifted, knees bent, really think of lifting those sits bones up to the sky. Take any small movements that feel good on the body. Walking the heels, maybe rocking the hips from side to side. And then we'll find stillness in our central position. On an inhale, we'll reach that right leg high, three-legged dog, bending the knee, opening the hip. We'll re-extend that leg, squaring off the hip, pinky toe drawing down towards the mat, heel lifting up. And we'll pull that knee across to the left elbow. So working those obliques. Holding here for 3, for 2. And on the 1, we'll lower that leg down so the knee is facing the left side of the yoga mat. The toes are facing the right. We'll adjust the hands so that the right hand is right underneath the shoulder. Left arm is able to reach all the way forward to that wall, creating a nice long line, body facing the left side. We'll reach that left arm up to the sky. And from here, see if you can engage that core and lift your left leg off of the mat so it's in line with the hip. And lower that leg down. We'll bring our left hand to the back of the head. And then we'll press that left foot and right arm down as we crunch. Just think about this for a second. Left elbow, so the elbow that's up, to the right knee that's on the mat. So we're going to press into a side plank, bringing knee to elbow. We're going to hold here for 3, for 2, and on the 1, we'll lower that knee back down, unwind, reaching that left arm back to the sky. Once again, we'll try to lift that left leg up off the mat. This time, bending the left leg, reaching that left arm around to grab the front of the foot, and seeing if we can take a bind. And if this is too much, you can stay in the position that we were in before. Wherever we are, we're stretching out. If you're in the bind, pressing the hips forward. We'll unwind, bringing that foot back down, arm back up to the sky. Bring that hand back behind the head. And we'll take our crunch once more. Left elbow to right knee. Crunch it up for 3, for 2. On the 1, we'll step that right foot back to meet the left, bringing our forearms down, coming into a forearm plank. Bringing the right foot to a hover in our forearm plank. We'll only be here for a second. We'll bend that right knee, and then step the right foot behind the left one, coming into a version of our flip dog. Reaching that right arm forward. Here for 3, for 2. On the 1, coming back. Forearm plank. We'll drop those knees and drag the hips back, coming into our puppy pose. Hips right over the knees, resting on the forehead as our arms are reaching out in front of us. From here, we'll drop those elbows where they are, roll forward, coming into our Sphinx pose. So elbows right underneath the shoulders, palms pressing down. And notice a difference here in letting the belly go and bending the back from there, or engaging that core and lifting up into this back bend. We'll release the forehead down, bringing the hands out to the side on the fingertips. And we'll lift up for 3 cobras. So pressing the fingertips down as we lift the heart forward. And exhale to lower. Inhale to lift up, rippling through the spine, and exhale to lower. Last one, inhale, lift up, and exhale, lower. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. We'll tuck the toes and power up. We'll come straight to our plank from here, going through our chaturanga, and then press the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. We'll inhale, left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip. We'll re-extend that leg. Square off the hip. And we'll bend that knee, drawing the knee across to connect with the right elbow. We'll stay here for 3, for 2. On the 1, lowering that knee so that it's facing the right side, toes facing the left. We'll reach that right arm up overhead, adjusting the left hand if it has to be adjusted. Right arm reaches to the sky. And we can lift that right leg from here to a hover. Breathing, really pressing that heel against an imaginary wall. And lower that foot back down. We'll connect this right hand to the back of the head, pressing right foot and left hand down. And we'll take our crunch, right elbow to left knee. Holding here for 3, for 2, and on the 1, we'll lower back down. Arm extends back up to the sky. Bringing that right leg back to a hover. You can either stay here or bend that right knee, reaching the right arm around to grab the front of that right foot, pressing the hips forward. We're here for 3, for 2, and on the 1, we'll bring that right foot back down, right arm re-extends, right hand comes to the back of the head, and we'll take our crunch once more, crunching elbow to knee. We're here for 3, for 2, on the 1, we'll step that left foot back, coming to our forearm plank. This time we'll lift that left leg to a hover, bending the left knee, and we'll step it behind the right, taking our variation on flipped dog. Here for 3, 2, on the 1, we come back to our forearm plank. Drop the knees and drag the hips back, coming into our puppy pose. Pressing into the hands, we'll roll forward to our Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath the shoulders, palms pressing down, shoulders pressing down. Take a moment here to close your eyes and just check in with the body. Check in with how the breathing has picked up and maybe is now slowing down again. We'll gently lower down, forehead coming to the mat. Let's reach our arms forward in front of us this time. And we're going to work up to our locust pose. So we're going to lift both arms up. Big inhale as we reach those fingertips forward, pressing the hips down, toes are staying down. And exhale, lower those hands. This time we'll just take it with the legs. So squeezing the glutes. We'll inhale, lifting those feet off of the mat. Hands staying down. And exhale, lower. We'll take a full locust Reaching those fingertips and toes away from one another, reaching them up to the sky. Not holding our breath, but staying calm and easy with the breathing as we take this back bend. And release it down. Good. Let's walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes, and we'll lift up plank pose. Press the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Keeping it square this time. We'll draw knee to the nose, hover here. And extend it back, three-legged dog. And exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, re-extend, three-legged dog. Last time, knee to nose. From here, we'll step that foot up, high lunge. So reaching the fingers high, making sure there isn't any pinching in the lower back, so bending through that back knee if that's what we need to do. Just squeezing both legs towards the midline here for stability. Bringing the palms of the hands together. And we'll bend the elbows, bringing those palms to the back of the head. Thumbs should connect with the upper back or the neck. From here, we'll think about drawing those elbows as close together as we can as we lean back. We're here for 3, for 2. On the 1, we'll re-extend those fingers up to the sky and open up, revolving the body to the right side. Left hand comes down, we'll take our easy twist. Right arm reaching up to the sky. Drop the left knee, untuck the toes, and reach that right arm back. You can stay here, or kick that left foot up into the hand, taking this quad stretch. And make sure that you're breathing. This can be a really deep stretch, so it's most important that we keep our breath steady, as it will help our stretching. We'll release that leg nice and gently, bringing both hands back to the mat. We'll walk that right hand to the inside of the right leg, heel toe the foot out nice and wide, and we'll come into our side plank. So coming onto the outer edge of both feet, and then stepping that right foot on top of the left. From here, you have the option of either staying here or coming into our full flipped dog or wild thing. So stepping that right foot back behind us, reaching the hips up as the arm reaches forward. We're here for 3, 2, and on the 1, we'll come back to our plank pose. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Inhale, lift up, cobra pose. And exhale, press it all the way back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog, keeping it square and straight. We'll pull that left knee into the nose, hovering here. We'll kick it back. Exhale. And knee to nose. Inhale to re-extend. And exhale, knee to nose. And we'll step it up, high lunge. Squeezing both legs to the midline. Making sure to bend that back knee if we have to avoid that crunching in the back. We'll draw the hands together and bend at the elbows, bringing the thumbs to the back of the neck or the upper back. Elbows drawing together, and we'll lean it back. We'll lift up out of this pose, re-extending the elbows, and open up to the left side. Taking our easy twist, right hand comes to the inside of the left foot. Left arm reaches high. Dropping the right knee, untucking the toes, and we can take this quad stretch or just reaching the arm back. So making sure that we're not directly on the knee here, but over it. Pressing those hips forward and down, keeping our breath steady. We'll release that leg gently, bringing the left hand back down to the mat. We'll bring it to the inside of the left leg this time. Heel toe that left leg out nice and wide. Tuck the back toes, and we'll come into our side plank, facing the left side. So stacking left foot on top of right. Totally natural to lose balance here. So if you lose it, just come back, try it again. And then we'll step that left foot back behind, coming into our flipped dog or wild thing. Feel free to stay in your side plank, or if it's too much, you can always come to a child's pose. Coming back to our side plank, and we'll come back to our plank, taking our flow. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, lowering through chaturanga all the way down to the belly. Inhale, lifting up, cobra. And exhale, press it up and back, downward facing dog. Let's take a big breath in through the nose here. And side out the mouth. We'll take a big inhale, reaching that right leg high. Exhale, step it through, high lunge. From here, we'll drop that left arm, bending the right elbow so the hand is coming back to the neck where it was before when we were in that prayer position. And we'll bend the left hand so that it's reaching down and around to grab a hold of the right fingers. And if we can't quite reach this position, we can grab onto our t-shirt or just reach as far as we can go. Once we get here, we'll lift the chest and take a small back bend. Lifting back up to center, keeping the arms attached in whatever way that they are holding, and we'll reach the chest forward, taking a hinge. Unwind the arms, reaching both of them forward. We'll come into our warrior three. So shifting the weight over that right foot, and we'll shift forward into our warrior three. Keeping that back leg square and in line with the hips. Holding here for 3, for 2. On the 1, we'll bend both knees, not letting the left foot touch the ground, and roll all the way to stand. Arms reaching up to the sky. We're going to take our dancer pose. So kick that left heel back, reaching the left arm back, grabbing the inside of the left foot, and then we'll press foot into hand as we reach that right arm forward, going as high as we can go, keeping our stability and keeping that left leg squared. Breathing here. We'll unwind, bringing that left knee back to the front, taking our right hand to the left knee, and taking a twist over to the left side, reaching that left arm back behind us. We'll look back forward, and we'll come into our eagle pose, so crossing left knee over the right, wrapping either once or twice, and then we'll wrap left arm underneath the right arm, wrapping the arms either once or twice. Trying to get the palms of the hands together or the backs of the hands together. We'll sink those hips low, squeezing them towards each other, trying to find balance here. Here for 3. Keep on breathing. 2, lifting those elbows high. On the 1, we'll unwind, step that left foot back to a warrior 1. So making sure that back foot is planted into the mat, coming out at a 45-degree angle, bending into the front knee. We'll release the arms down, interlacing the fingers behind the back, taking our humble warrior, so reaching those knuckles down and away, heart falling to the inside of the right knee. Making sure not to crunch those toes, so really lift them up and lengthen them. We'll release the hands down to the mat and straighten through that front leg, taking a little hamstring stretch here. We'll bend through the front knee. Swivel the back foot back to the toes, coming into our runner's lunge. We'll plant the hands and step that right foot back, plank pose. Taking our vinyasa or skipping it, coming to downward dog right away. So if you're taking your vinyasa, we'll inhale to look forward. Exhale, lowering through chaturanga or holding at chaturanga. Inhale to lift up, up dog or cobra. And exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. We'll inhale, left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step it through, high lunge. Making sure to find your stability here. We'll drop the right arm this time, bending the left elbow, bringing the hand to the neck. We'll reach the right arm around, trying to grab a hold of opposite fingers. Pressing the heart forward, elbows pulling back. We'll take a small back bend here. Just opening the heart to the sky. Lifting back up to center. And we'll hinge forward. Keeping the belly off of the leg. Releasing the arms and reaching them out forward. And we'll come into our warrior three, so shifting the weight over that left foot, reaching the right foot back behind us like it's caking an imaginary wall. Nice long line. Here for 3, for 2. On the 1, we'll bend both knees, pulling the right knee up and into the chest, not letting it touch the ground. And we'll reach that right arm back, kicking the right leg back, grabbing the inside of the foot, and taking our dancer pose. Pressing foot into hand, keeping a square position in the hips, and letting the chest lean forward as the leg lifts up. We'll release that leg, bringing it into the chest, grabbing that leg with the left hand and taking a twist over to the right. Right arm reaches behind us. So it always helps to find something to stare at. So if you have anything in front of your gaze, just look at it and see if it helps your stability. Coming back to center, we'll take our eagle pose. Crossing right ankle over the left. Right knee over the left. Crossing right arm underneath the left. Bending at the elbows, bringing the palms of the hands together as we sink those hips low. And you can always bring the toe of your right foot down to the mat if you feel a little unsteady here. Here for 3, for 2. On the 1, we'll unwind, stepping back, warrior 1. Front knee is bent, turned in. Back leg is turned out 45 degrees and straight, pressing into the outer edge of the foot. We'll let the arms fall down, interlacing the fingers behind our back. Maybe the more unusual way, reaching those knuckles away. And then we'll dive forward to the inside of the left leg. Checking in with the toes, noticing if they're gripping. We'll release the hands down to the mat, stretching through the front leg. Bending the left knee, we'll shift back to our runner's lunge, planting the hands and step that left foot back to meet the right. Taking our last flow of the class, take it or leave it. We'll look forward, big inhale. Exhale, lowering through or to chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up, up dog or cobra, pressing the hips back, down dog. Walking it out. We'll inhale, right leg lifts, coming right into our pigeon pose. Right knee comes behind right wrist. Extending the left leg behind us. We'll lift up, extending through the front of the body. Lower down, folding over that leg. Big exhale to release everything. Walking our hands underneath our shoulders. We'll press back up, tucking the back toes, stepping it back, downward facing dog. Take a moment, let the blood start flowing back into that right leg. And we'll take it with the left leg, reaching the left leg high, big inhale. And exhale, left knee comes behind left wrist, taking our pigeon pose. Extending our right leg behind us. We'll take an inhale, opening the chest. And on an exhale, folding over. Walking those hands underneath the shoulders. We'll press back up. Coming back to our downward facing dog. And slowly we'll begin to lower the knees down to the mat. Taking our child's pose, sitting the hips back, arms reaching side and back, so they're laying by our sides. We'll tuck our chin and slowly roll up to our kneeling position. From here, let's reach our arms around our back, interlacing the fingers, and bring both hands over to the left hip, so wrapping the arms around. And we'll drop the right ear over to the right shoulder, taking a little bit of a neck stretch. From here, nod your chin forward and back. Really easy here. Just feeling the stretch with the left side of the neck. We'll slowly lift back up to center and switch sides, bringing the knuckles over to the opposite hip. So the right hip this time, dropping the left ear over to the left shoulder. And just nodding the chin forward and back. Slowly lift back up to center. Knuckles come back behind us and release. We'll sit over to one side, reaching both legs out in front of us. Taking our staff pose. We'll reach both arms up and just take a forward fold here, so reaching the fingertips out and over the toes as we let the forehead fall. Releasing our feet. We'll slowly begin to roll down onto the back. Pulling the knees into the chest, coming right back to where we started. We'll place both feet down on the mat, knees up to the sky. We'll take one bridge pose, pressing the feet down. We'll start to lift up off of the mat, inch by inch. Squeezing the thighs and the knees towards one another. Maybe this time interlacing the hands behind the back, walking the shoulders underneath us for a half wheel. And if you take this pose, just listen to the sound of my voice. Don't crank your head to see the screen. If you're in your half wheel, release your hands. And all together, we'll slowly roll down onto the back. Crossing the right knee over the left. We'll shift the hips over to the right as we let the knees fall over to the left. Lifting back up to center. We'll uncross the legs, shift the hips back to line, and then we'll take left leg across the right, shifting the hips over to the left, letting the knees fall to the right. Lifting back to center, unwinding the legs. And before we come into our Shavasana, let's take a happy baby. So grabbing a hold of the outside of the feet, pulling those knees in. Keeping the arms to the inside of the legs so we can press the knees even wider. Trying to get those lower backs and sits bones as close to the mat as we can. And we'll let that go, pulling the knees into the chest, giving ourselves one final squeeze. And then releasing everything out into our Shavasana. Legs and arms taking up a lot of space. Nice, wide, comfortable position. And we'll stay here for just a short time this morning. We'll start to send energy to the fingers and toes, coming back to the body, reaching the arms up overhead, taking a full body stretch, allowing everything to round over onto the right side. We'll press our way to a comfortable seat, keeping those eyes closed or softened. Once you find your seat, draw your hands together at the heart. We'll take 3 final breaths together, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out. Last time, in and out. I hope this class got you energized and ready to take on the day. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. I hope you all enjoyed this full body yoga flow. Please let me know in the comments how you did. Like this video and subscribe to my channel for many more videos. Hope to see you soon. Take care.